Oh man, oh man. All right, welcome back to another and our last, unfortunately, in-season edition of Nosebleed Section. I'm your host, as always, joined by my two colleagues that have been on the road with us these past couple of weeks. Fellas, so much to talk about. So much to talk about. As everybody knows, the Giants. What's good, hit? What's good, hit? Good to hear from you. Good to see you. Um, like I said, everybody knows the Giants did not turn out the way we wanted to at all. We're going to get into a lot of things that went on wrong with the divisional game with the Eagles and look into the future. So, and we'll try to find some positive things because as bad as it was, there are a a couple things I can look forward to. Couple bright notes. Yeah, there's a couple bright notes. I got one or two things, literally one or two things that I can pick. I'm gonna be very picky about it, but um, yeah, let's get into it. So again, as everybody knows, the Giants went into Philly and got rolled. Let's put it like that. Let's just put it blatantly. Got folded over the score of 38-7 by the Eagles. Like I said, I think I'll start with the positives. Why not? We'll get it out the way. One thing we can always go back to it, but when I look at the stat line, the one thing I will say is I think Saquon had a decent enough game. I do believe that. I do believe that they went away from him too early because I know on the ground he was 9 of 61, including a 39-yard run, and I also know that Saquon had another 22, I believe, yards receiving. Um, and like I said, I think the game plan should have heavily involved him, and it just kind of was good. Corsair was good. Yes, you're an Eagles fan. I know. Gosh, yeah. Like I said, I got a couple positives I can pull from the game again. Saquon, I think At held it pretty well, and I don't think Adoree had a bad game either. Like I said, we'll spot some positives and everything, but the two main things that really stuck out for me: effort and execution. Uh, There's nothing to talk about, Corsair. You guys handled. We saw what you guys did. We saw it. Like we all saw it. And you're right. We wanted to smoke. We all wanted to smoke. We all wanted that rematch, that third round, and it didn't fold. It didn't go our way. Hats off to y'all. Y'all handled business. Um, those are the two main things that really popped for me. Were just the lack of energy and just effort. Like it just seemed like we were just happy being there. Like, we were just happy, like, hey, we made the divisional. Great year. See you next year. Like that's really what like kind of hit me. It was like, yo, you didn't even after the fact. It was like, all right, well, we're here. Now what? It's like we didn't even think that far. From players to coaching, it was just all around like not great. Uh, like I said, we'll get more into everything, but I want to go through you guys' takes, just a quick overview of the game, what really stood out to you guys, and then we'll really get into it. But Benji, you go first. What are your thoughts on everything?
It was a shit show. It was an absolute shit show from start to finish. The game was legitimately lost on our first possession when Brian Dable decided to go for it on 4th and 8. That shot us in the head right from the start. It was over at that point. There was nothing we could have done. So, like I said, there's not a whole lot that I could really go, into without taking up all of the time. But like legitimately from the very start of the game, I've never seen. Well, I have, but under this coaching staff, I've never seen us be dominated on offense, defense, special teams, coaching the hell before we even came into the stadium. All right, that this just what it was. It was one of those games, and hopefully everybody involved learns from it, and we move forward, and we're able to take this and use it as a rallying cry going forward for next year and on and beyond.
June.
Ah, it was it was horrible, man. I was from the first when they drew down the field. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can respond back. respond to that touchdown. Uh, Benji, I'm on the other side. I felt like I like him. I like the Dable going for it on fourth. Yeah, right there. Because they drove that ball down there easily on that first drive. And I think they had it all in their mind. They came into that game knowing that, look, we gotta score touchdowns against these guys. We can't go down. We can't go down 2 touchdowns like they did though. But we gotta score touchdowns. We need 2 points on the board. So I think they had it all in their mind already. If we do get in that spot right there, we going for it. And it didn't work out. I saw Reddit was kicking Evan Neal
Evan
ass
Neal.
in that whole drive, kicking his ass. And it didn't work out. So, and that was the turning point. They got the ball, they right there on what was on our 40-yard line, our 40-yard line when they got the ball up. Yeah, like 40-something yard line.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, no, it was intentional grounding. Intentional grounding. They call it after that, right?
No, what happened was I think they gave him a sack instead of actually calling the grounder.
Okay, all right. So, they go back down and score it again. And when I saw he was down 14, I'm like, nah, we can't do this against this team. This is not Minnesota. It's not Minnesota.
No.
And it was just like I was out watching the game. I left at halftime. I was out at this bar and on 22 called Stage House. I left at halftime. It was a lot of Giants fans in there too. A lot of Giants fans, but everybody left at halftime because we know what kind of team we have. We don't have that team that can come back for 28.
Not at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, man. It was just all around. It was all around ugly, like I said. But so one thing I would do want to bring up, like I said, I think we can all agree that Philly was simply the better team here, and like talent wise, I mean, I think they did in every facet of the game. I'm not gonna lie, I believe they outcoached us as well as outplayed us. I mean, kudos to them. They jumped on us early, and it was a wrap. And like to you guys' point, I really believe and I'm with Benji on this one though, because I really believe that first drive, once we went for on that 4th and 8, and we didn't get it, and when they went back down and scored again, like it was just to me, it was like you can't do that. Like I understand you want to try, but you don't have the pieces, you don't have the line, you don't have the weaponry to
Joe,
go.
he's been aggressive all year. We started the season for them going for it on 2.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just like I would be more of like I would have punted, and I would have tried to pin them deep, try to get them on the 5-yard line, 10 something, and then hope you can get like a 3 and out, hope you can get a stop, something, get the ball back. Hopefully they punt it, it gets down to our 45, 50-yard line. Maybe we can go down and try to either score or get a field goal, and then at least it's 7-3. And hopefully by the end of the first quarter, it's 7-3. Now you have a little hope, you have a little something like okay, like we're not going to be able to go shot for shot. It's not going to be 7 on them, 7 on us. It's not going to keep going back and forth. But if we can keep it a bit close, if we can keep it like 7-3, if we can keep it 7-6, even if it was 14-3, we score another field goal or something, or 14-10, keep it close. But once you get down 14-10, or once we were down 14-0, it was just like, it was a wrap to me. It was just over. It was just like, it was 14-0. And I mean, like, you can fight, but like, it's like, that was the main thing for us, was just like, and me and Benji, we go back and forth all the time. It was like, there was no effort. There was nothing.
Like they quit.
There was nothing. I mean, Jude, I'll ask you, but like, just the line play. I don't even say the O-line. The line play on both sides. Like,
we got beat up, man. We got beat up.
Like,
the Eagles showed that they the best offensive line in football. It was one play. Who's number 71?
Oh my God, Justin Elliott.
Yo, got thrown like a rag doll. I believe that was
just
it that Lane John? No,
Nah, it
was
was Jason Kelsey, and he did it with one hand.
man. That explains how that game went right there. Like that one play right there explains it all. I'm like, oh man, we got beat on both sides, man. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams was no shows. They couldn't stop the run. We got rushed 250 yards. What 200?
I believe it was 268 or something altogether.
Yeah. Rushing. Not gonna win no game like that. Can't rush
No,
on like that at all. They ain't you
no.
really kill us in the passing game. It was
Yeah.
more than the running game they killed us in. Miles Sanders, Kenneth everybody got off on us in the running game. Man, it starts up front. You know that, Joe. It starts up front with the big boys.
Yep.
Whoever win that matchup is gonna win the game, and that's what happened.
It was something like I've never seen before. Benji, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the play of both lines? And I'll throw my 2 cents in.
Well, both of our lines honestly got dominated throughout that entire game. As much as I want to sit up here and bring up the Kayvon situation, the way that he was like not even politicking, literally screaming at the officials that he was being held. This is something that we've been dealing with the entire season. It's not something that is going to go away. So for him specifically, I'm really gonna need him to just play through it. It is what it is. If it gets called, it gets called. If not, keep on running, because it's like you're quitting during the play, right? It honestly irks me because of the fact that we sat up there all week long, and I'm sitting up here watching on social media all week long, hearing about Cat and Dexter Williams, Cat and Dexter Lawrence. These guys are one of the best pass rushing duos in the NFL, and I didn't see either one of them do a thing. Cat was almost non-existent. Dexter Lawrence was out there. He was, making some plays and stuff like that. It's just a matter of he was making them after the fact, down the line, all kinds of stuff like that. But then after that, what do you have? You don't have anything. Because like I said, you got Justin Ellis, 350 pounds, getting launched by a center that weighs like 230. One arm. I think I'm watching an Olympian out there. You got 2 offensive linemen for Philadelphia hurt. One of them hurt in the game. The other one hurt before the game, sitting there running around with his groin torn off the bone. Can't get torn no more. But he's out there playing. And no one could get any pressure on Jalen Hurts except for that one blitz that I think it was McKinney got to him.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, he came in there unblocked.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, again, our entire vaunted defensive line out there getting absolutely lambasted. In the offensive line, to be completely honest with you, Lane Johnson was hurt, yo. He was hurt. I know he's good. But if you see somebody that's hurt, you attack them. And they didn't do it. That's the point. On the other side, I'm like, bro, you gotta do something with this. I keep sitting up here telling I actually had a conversation with a guy I used to work with as an Eagles fan earlier today. You cannot sit up here and tell me that you go up against an aggressive pass rush the way that you go up against the Philadelphia Eagles and you don't know how to attack it. Washington gave everybody, every single team in the league, the blueprint on how to handle them. Ball control and force turnovers. So the first thing we do going out there is to drop back and throw 800,000 times. Come on. We're not going to keep going back and forth like this dude had a torn groin. He actually told them, it's like, yo, I'm going to be feeling it on every single play. All right? That's it. You know how to attack it. You overload that side. It's that simple. Right? We did not do it. I'm not sitting up here saying, had we done it, we would have went out there and blown the Eagles out. No. What I'm saying is that you had a blueprint on how to attack a situation, and you did not do it. There was a failure on the part of our coaching staff. There was a failure on our defense. That was a failure on everybody involved. Saquon Barkley was averaging what 6.8 yards a carry, and then you sitting up here and you're talking about, granted, that 40-yard run or the 39-yard run is what actually made it look a lot better than what it was. But the dude had 4 carries at halftime. Again, an aggressive pass rush. You know how to attack that. Run at it. Run at it. It's that simple. Like I said, I'm not going to keep going back and forth with it. It is what it is. You can think what you want. The fact is, they're professional athletes that could have gone out there and actually done some type of a better job to actually make themselves look some type of competent, and they didn't. Either way it goes. Like I say, you go ahead.
Just the line play on both sides. I mean, you guys pretty much hit all of it. Like I said, we'll go through every position like we always do. But line both sides of the ball. If your name was Andrew Thomas yesterday or Saturday, you got dominated at that point. And even Andrew Thomas was giving up a little ground, but I mean, he still showed that he was still one of the best tackles in the league. Like, he was still holding his own. But everybody else, from Gates to Feliciano to Bredesen to Glowinski to Evan Neal, got massacred. Absolutely massacred. And I mean, at this point, it's like, it's one-on-ones. And that's what killed me. It's like, it's one-on-ones almost every time. Like, yeah, they said pressure sometimes, but sometimes it was literally 4 D linemen on 5 O linemen.
Yeah.
And you were getting beat. And I'm not just getting beat, like, you were getting thrown. You were getting turned around. Like I was talking about last year, not last year, last week. I was talking about last week, like Evan Neal, like, not bringing his hands. There were plays where I saw him just trying to throw shoulders. There was plays where I saw Feliciano just on the ground. There was plays where I just saw Bredesen and Gates and like Glowinski completely turn around. The D lineman has 2 hands in his back, throwing him to the side. Like, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, are we are y'all like? I don't get it. Like, were you just intimidated? What was it? I didn't understand it. It's like, at some point, you just have to be like, yo, I'm tired of getting abused like this, and do something. Like, we just sat back and got abused for 4 quarters. And like I said, there was no effort, and then there was no execution. And that's on the O line. And like I said, we can go position by position or whatever, but like, the one thing I will say, like, I think Kafka's game plan, whatever made it, was horrible.
Yep.
Horrible.
One of the worst ones.
Horrible.
And if you follow like the Philadelphia Eagles all year, and when they did lose some games, the way to beat them is to run the ball. Teams got really physical with them up front. The game that come up to my mind is the Washington Commanders game. They ran the ball. They got physical with them on Monday Night Football. At first loss, they ran the ball with Brian Robinson Jr. and Gibson and those guys. But we went away from that run game. You know, of course, you get down early like that, it do make you want to pat. You're
trying to catch up. You're trying to catch up.
Yeah, but you can't. Like I said, you can't. You set yourself up right from the start, though.
Yeah,
right on that first drive. Right on the first drive, you sat up there and you set yourself up, because we went out there and we put ourselves in a position to be 4th and 8, and then you sat up there and you went for it. Instead of like sitting up here, all right, listen, it is what it is. Weather the storm at the start. Let's try and outplay these guys later. Let's try and outmaneuver these guys later.
Something. Right? And again, we're having good.
But
no, I was gonna say, like, it's just the fact that, like, you sat there and, okay, like, I understand, like, you're down 7-0, but you can't fall into their trap of just trying to throw on them. You don't have the line, you don't have the talent to beat them like that. They're not the Vikings. Daniel Jones was going to sit back in the pocket and have all day to shred you for 330 yards passing.
And let's be fair, he didn't even have all day then.
Exactly. So if you didn't have that then against the Vikings, then you definitely didn't have it this week. Like, So, like, come on. Again, just run the ball. Run the ball, even if you have to bleed time and play field position battle. Like, I understand it's not the most like exciting football. I don't care. Like I said last week, I don't care if we win 3-2. I don't care if we win 2-0. I don't care. Just win the game. Not saying like the Justice would have automatically won, but like if you thought you were gonna sit up here and you were gonna you thought you were gonna sit up here and hang with the Eagles offense, you thought, oh, well, they have AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, and Devonta Smith. Well, we have Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, Daniel Bellinger. We can hang with them. Not a chance. Like you said, when we kept going back. Once you went down 7-0, that 4th and 8 changed everything. If you punt the ball, you pin them deep, you hope you can get a stop, get the ball back on a punt, and try to go down and maybe score a field goal. And hopefully by the end of the first quarter, it's 7-3. Now it's at least interesting. If they scored 14-3, hopefully we go down and we can score a touchdown maybe. Maybe it's 14-10. You never know. Maybe it's 14-6. You never know. But you're not going to just hang with them. And then defensively, we just got wrecked. We just got killed up front. Like, you guys hit everything. KT, like, you're a rookie. I get it. Like, I understand. But, again, at some point, you've been getting help since the first game of the season.
Yeah.
You got to just be like, at this point, I'm not getting these calls. I have to play. Because, like you said, there were plays where he was in position, but he's so busy flailing his arms and throwing his arms like, yo, I'm getting held, that you just give up your gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you got to play through that.
It was one play. It was 3rd down. I felt like he could have made the tackle. It was a screen pass. I think to Devontae Smith.
Yes.
And I felt like he could have made the tackle there, but it just looked like you said, it looked like they was not into it. After once they got down no many points, and Devontae Smith I think it was Devontae Smith that got the first down off a screen.
Yep.
And he was right there, and I'm like, damn, KT, you couldn't make that play.
Mm-hmm. It literally, he read it perfectly, and then I'm like, okay, KT, they're in trips right. The 3 receivers are trips right.
Yeah.
You ran across the line. You watched the ball be thrown. Where are you going?
It's like he ran to the block instead of running to the ball carrier.
Yeah. And I'm like, not only could you probably have jumped it for a pick, if you didn't jump it for a pick, you could have at least tackled him right there as soon as he caught it, and they wouldn't have got the first down. So I don't know where he was going. But it was just like I said, we'll get to both sides of the ball. The performance of the receivers, non-existent. Like non-existent.
I mean, until that last pass, you could have given Richie James some type of credit, but after that,
like
you didn't sat up here and you literally just. I don't care if the game was out of hand or not at that point. Like, you cannot drop a perfectly in your hands pass like that at any point. Like, I don't care what the situation is. Like, bro, unless both of your hands are broken, you need to be bringing that ball in. It's that simple. Now I'm sitting up here going towards the future, wondering if I even want this dude on the squad anymore. And that's not even like overreaction. That's just like, yo, bro, like, are you like, what are we gonna do here? What exactly are we gonna do? Because we're sitting up here, we're talking like a consistent trend now. We're talking the 2 fumbles in Seattle that legitimately cost us that game.
Yeah.
We're talking about the drop. The drops, the drops that have happened in key situations. One of which was on that 3rd down play in Minnesota and on Christmas Eve. Yeah, come on, it has to be something. If they told us like anything as far as like this weekend, like all of us have loved Isaiah Hodgins since he got here. But if I learned anything, it's the fact that you cannot count on him to be number one.
Yeah.
He cannot be number 1. You got to have somebody out here who is a legitimate threat. And he's good, but he's not number 1 good.
Mm-mm.
So,
yeah,
I definitely agree. You definitely in that game you needed some weapons in the outside. You needed 2 weapons in the outside for that game.
And like for all intents and purposes, thank you for your service. I will always count the fact that you got Eli's last touchdown pass. Slayton, it's time to go.
Oh, gotta go.
It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long I've been saying it. I don't know how long I've been saying it since week 4, 5. I've been done with them.
Probably before that.
Probably.
I told y'all when I was, like I said, I told y'all when I went out to Fan Fest myself, I was watching him out there. Dude looked lost. He looked lost. Now he got himself in some type of rhythm throughout the entire season, but when your best season is still having like a 20% drop rate, come on.
They said it was down from last year.
You got to be better than that. Like it was like 35.
They said last year, I think it was around 23 to 25%. And it dropped to 15% this year. They're like, oh, he's improving.
Improving from what?
You're.
It's like passing. It's like passing a class with a D-.
Definitely some weapons, man.
Like I said, I'll take Hodgins back. That's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
I mean, what killed me is DJ didn't play his best game at all. We all know DJ didn't play his best game. I'll give him some of the benefit that, again, you were running for your goddamn life. I'll give you some of that benefit, but not all of it, because some of it you had some bad reads, you missed some passes and everything. So I'm not going to give you all that benefit and be like, oh, well, none of it's on DJ. Like, I'm not going to give you that at all. But dude, like, to sit behind the offensive line, you're sitting up here, you have Bellinger. Every time Bellinger caught the ball, it seemed like he was getting killed.
Yep.
Like, he would take a hit and just lay on the ground. Like, is this guy okay? Like, and then, like I said, Slayton, forget about it. I'm done with Slayton.
I mean, at the very least, he wasn't Robert Turpin, but.
It's like, and then you're sitting up here, you have Hodgins. Hodgins had the one catch, I believe, and he bobbled it. It was supposed to be a first down, and then he bobbled it and got hit behind the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like you said, then you have Richie James, and again, not for nothing, we were down 38-7 at that point. But you catch the pass, you have a clear, 70-yard touchdown run, and then you drop it. I think the thing that really gets me about it is then at first, they tried to blame Daniel Jones for it. And that's what really irked me. That's what really irked me. Again, Daniel ain't perfect, but dude literally sat up here and was like, oh, well, they have, what was it? It was like, oh, Daniel Jones, he missed another guy. Daniel Jones, he messed up. He overthrew Richie James. What a bad pass. Blah, blah. Like, then they showed the replay, and it hit both his hands.
Yep.
Perfectly hit him in the hands.
And the funny thing about it is, you remember the Slayton drop in Washington?
Yeah.
That one, you could actually argue, was a tad bit overthrown. This wasn't.
No.
This was right on point.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Right in his hands.
It is hands. As a receiver, we always tell our receiver, if it hits your hands, catch it.
Yep.
That's it. And so I'm just like, you can't blame this all on Daniel Jones. Like I said, he had a bad performance too. He didn't do anything amazing. He started reverting back to holding the ball for too long and not just knowing when to get rid of the ball. The play that sticks out to me, and I'm sure you guys know too, that probably picks you off too. End of the game, it was a 2nd and 1. And instead of just throwing the ball away and living to fight another down and having it being 3rd and 1, you decided to run out of bounds and take a 4-yard loss and turn it into 3rd and 5. And then you sit back at 3rd and 5 and throw an inaccurate pass. Either you threw an inaccurate pass or Slayton messes route up again. One of the two things happened. Regardless, you missed a wide open Slayton, and you had to go down and punt again. And everybody was pissed because, 4th and 8, you'll go for it. But 4th and 5 at the end of the game, you're going to
down by 21 when you need possessions.
Like, and it really just like that.
That's why I'm more upset with that 4th and 8 at the beginning of the game than I would have been had we gone for it then as well. Because I'm like, if you're going to sit up here and you're going to be bold enough to actually do that in the first quarter on your very first drive, you need to be bold enough to do that down 21 in the fourth quarter. Let's go. It is what it is. Ain't no sense in holding nothing back, because what happened after that? The Eagles went on a 3.5 hour drive and ran out the rest of the clock. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everything from, like I said, everything from the playing to the play calling to me was just atrocious, just completely atrocious. I mean, like I said, I think that if anything, this might be a reason that Kafka don't get a head coaching job.
Oh yeah.
Like, maybe it shows that he's not ready, because whatever he tried to do on Saturday clearly did not work.
We can't. You see, we can't like get all on. Even though it didn't look good Saturday. Right? The game plan, the office game plan, didn't look good. But overall, the season, the season that they had, and what they had to deal with, the talent that they had to deal with. And I was arguing with somebody about this today in the group chat, and I'm like, let's see how that offense looked with some real talent at the skills position. Let's, I'm not gonna poo-poo Kafka yet, and say get rid of him. Or I don't know if he do get a job, which, like you said, I don't think he's gonna get a job after this performance. But let's see with some real talent out there how he look come next year.
Oh yeah, like it's like I want to keep him. I'm not saying to fire the guy. What I'm saying is I don't think I think this performance will show he's not ready for a head coaching gig.
Yeah,
that was my whole thing. I just I don't know. I don't know. Anything else on the offensive side of the ball?
I do want to say, like, because I know we were touching on Daniel Jones, I'm not even really going to put that interception on him either. That was a damn good read by James Bradbury. And if you look at the replay, there was, like, I don't know if he had, like, where he was going, how his progression was going in that play, but on the real, he was done had he not even thrown the ball. He probably would have died. Because I think that was Gardner Johnson that was coming in on a blitz. He was about a half a step away from him when he let the ball go. So the only play I'm really, really going to kill him for is that nonsensical sack he took when he could have just thrown the ball away.
That was like a regression point to me. It just completely pissed me off.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things where, like you were saying before, like we all said it. We're sitting here and we're looking at this guy trying to do everything, and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just like after a while, it's just like I get it. Like you're trying to put the whole weight of the whole entire locker room on your shoulders. Like you're trying to. I get it, but just like, dude, like, I don't know. I don't know. Defensively, I think that another one. I don't think Wink had a bad game. Wink's another one had a bad game calling it. Wink Martindale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think he had
I thought you said he didn't. That's why I looked at you. I thought you said
no. He had a bad. He had a bad go of it too. I don't know what another person. I don't know what you recall.
I felt like he didn't blitz enough for me. Like I didn't see the pressure. I felt like he didn't blitz enough. Then Julian Love, oh man, first play he's getting balls. Devontae Smith embarrassing him again.
Oh man. Julian Love, we'll get to Julian. Julian had literally statistically, Julian had one of his worst performances of the entire year. Yeah, put your arm down. Put your arm down. So annoying. So annoying. What killed me about Wink? Sat back in that stupid soft zone the entire game. The entire game. And like I said, I don't think the pressure came. And again, to just sit back and you're sitting up here, the Eagles come out in dubs. It's 3rd and 4. Eagles come out in dubs. You got your outside guy playing press. Adoree was up on the outside receiver. Got your inside receiver sitting there, and you have the next guy playing 9 yards off of him. Where are you going to go with the ball? Like, make it make sense. Like, why do you have, if you have Julian Love, you had Nick McLeod, Darnay Holmes, Fabian Moreau, whoever you might have had, why do you have them playing 8 and 9 yards off the ball on a 3rd and 4? 3rd and 5. And you didn't make any adjustments. From the first half to the second half, you did the same thing.
Like, I thought it was just Patrick Graham. I guess
So
not.
I'm like, yo, what is this sit back 9 yards off the ball? It's 3rd and 3. Jalen Smith, another person I don't want to talk about. Jalen, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Jalen Hurts just turned and just threw it to the slot guy for easy first downs. I don't know. And like we talked about, our defensive line's inability to win up front just killed me.
Yeah.
Whether it was Dexter Lawrence getting stonewalled by Landon Dickerson, Leo getting stonewalled by Kelsey. Aziz was in there a couple times, but non-factor. And KT just stonewalled by Lane Johnson and just after a while just giving up.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter who we had rushing, it just was like nothing mattered. Nothing mattered. We got stonewalled the entire time. And man, do we need some linebackers. Man, we need some linebackers. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Oh, Benji, defensive thoughts before you get into all that. Before you get into free agency, it's way too early for that.
That was just a bad job all around. Honestly, just a bad job all around. Like I said, we can sit up here and we can talk about how much better the Eagles are than we are. It doesn't matter. You know, coaching can beat talent. And our coaching did not do anything towards trying to make sure that we were in the position to beat talent. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are better than us on both sides of the ball. But the fact is, we had opportunities, like I said, to attack weaknesses, and we just flat out didn't do it. And then, you sit up here and you got the Eagles as a whole just running all over us. As I said before, 350-pound defensive tackles getting launched off the ball, literally cartwheeled by offensive linemen. Then I'm never going to let that go. I'm never going to let that go. Like, legitimately, I never want to see him in the Giants uniform ever again. But like I said, aside from that, there's not really a whole lot I can say. Our linebackers were non-existent, and that includes Jared Davis as well, even though, like I said, he went out there, he had a good performance against them in the first game, but the last 2 games, he's just been a little iffy. I am going to sit up here and wonder why it is that I didn't see Landon Collins on the field at all.
I was literally I put note of that.
Yeah,
Not one snap defensively.
I want to know why Landon Collins wasn't on the field at all. Like, what were we doing? What are you saving him for? Right? I know somebody brought up Cordell Flott earlier, but Flott was actually, he played on special teams, and I believe he got hurt, so that's why he didn't come out there.
Yeah,
he was hurt.
But like the Landon Collins thing, like, come on.
You don't think this coaching staff overthink too much sometimes with their game planning?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like they over, like you said, Landon Collins not being out there. Like, you see, I know Galladay. I know we haven't been using them, but just roll him out there. See what he could give you.
I thought that was Bray. It's not.
What the hell just happened? I just paused. My bad, yo. That ain't the sound I think I hear.
I was getting ready to I was getting ready to say the same thing though. Like, why not just throw Galladay out there?
See what
Like,
Mhm.
what else could it hurt? He scored.
need a
He scored
spark
against us the first
somewhere.
time.
You need a spark somewhere.
Like, try something. Try anything different. Anything. Well, like you guys said, defensively. Well, D line. We already talked about the D line. D line got completely killed. They got completely killed. Linebacker wise, linebacker wise, like you said, Jared Davis looked good. The one or 2 weeks he looked good. I'm pretty much over Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Like another one, like I was watching during the game. Like, yes, he was making tackles, but my man was sitting back. He was sitting back the whole time. Like he had 1 or 2 plays where you see he would try to shoot in or whatever. But other than that, he wasn't filling gaps. He was sitting back, taking on the block and grabbing the running back and falling backwards. That's why they were getting like 7 yards of carry. It's like, yo, you have to stick your head in there, stick your neck in there, take on that old lineman so somebody else can come clean it up, clog the holes. You're not even doing that. You're just sitting back, letting the running back run at you. Like, come on,
Mhm.
man. And I know, like I said, it's way too early to look at the free agency. I know we're already like, yo, give me Tremaine Edmonds. He's from the Bills.
yeah,
Give us Tremaine Edmonds. Like,
yeah.
even Levante David is a free agent. Like, we're already looking at people. It's too early. Like, let's
Yep.
let the NFL season finish first.
I ain't letting
But
nothing finish. I'm already looking.
like I said, the one thing I will say, the only positive or two I have defensively is Adoree, and
Hold on for
Adoree,
1 second.
and I'll give it to X. I'll give it to Adoree, and I'll give it to Xavier McKinney. Adoree finished with 7 tackles, 5 of them being solo, a tackle for a loss, and Xavier McKinney had 8 tackles, 4 of them which were solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, and a pass defended. Those two are the only two I can really give props to after the game Saturday. It's great that they're both in the secondary. It's great that they're both young and they both are going to be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 2 things I really could take with me. But other than that, I can't really take anything else positive defensively from this. Again, from the scheme to game planning to effort to execution, just severely lacking. And again, like I said before the beginning, I will say Julian Love had his worst game of the
Is
entire
he a
year.
free agent?
Yeah.
Yes. And people are actually very iffy on whether he's coming back or not. Like whether we want him.
I like him because I've been following him. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've been following him since college, but
the money's got to be right, though, man.
Yeah, money got to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sign him again.
Money's got to be right. Any positives from the defensive side of the ball for either of you?
No. But I do really want to point out one really, really bad negative.
What?
That one play, we brought it up. I brought it up to you the other day. Where I want to say it was Kenneth Gainwell. Ran through the line or whatever.
Oh,
either that or he got
the first down.
He got hit by Dexter Lawrence. He got hit by Cat. He got hit by somebody else. And he got hit by, I believe, Pinnock. I want to say it was those 4. I don't remember right off of the bat, but I know Lawrence and I know I know Williams were in there too. And they could not get him down. The fact that he's sitting up here, but this was before the offensive lineman, whoever it was, came up behind him and actually gave him a push that helped him get the first down. You've got to do better than that, bro. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't care what the score is. All right. I don't care. Play the game.
Yeah.
Play like you got some type of I don't even care if you're talking about pride in your team. Say if you got pride in yourself as a man. But nobody did it.
Nah. At all.
He said, you got gassed up all week talking about everybody. Oh man, we the best duo with yada yada yada. And next thing you know, you're sitting there letting a 132-pound running back run through you.
June, Any positives from the defensive side of the ball?
None at all. None. You mentioned Adoree. Adoree did what he could do against the receivers. He kept because he was pretty much matched up on AJ all night. AJ didn't really go off. When you see, he felt like he could attack. You know, those guys are two former teammates with the Titans.
Yeah,
So
the Titans.
they had battles before. So, and you see AJ Brown kind of expressing his feelings about not getting the ball enough because Dory was on your ass. So let's keep it real. Like, I mean, Dory made a couple of tackles out there. So probably a Dory, but everybody else, nah.
Yeah, I got like I said, I looked through the stats and those were the two that I could really come up with that I was like, all right, I'll give it to these two. Like they at least played, they did their part. Like you could only do what you could do. You know, you had what you had. Like I said, I gave you the stat line, but in the Eagles, they didn't have a big game passing. That's the one thing. They hit the one big play to Devonta, had a screen or two, but like I said, there was no need. They only had 150 yards passing, but it doesn't matter when you have 300 yards rushing. Like it doesn't matter. They RPO'd us to death. They completely killed us on the ground. It just didn't matter. You didn't have to throw it. Yeah, like I said, it. I will say we'll end it off on a good note that nobody had this expectation for this team.
No.
Nobody had this expectation at all. I'm not gonna get into the whole
crowd, man, today.
Exactly. Like I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna get into the whole like Daniel Jones comments after the game and Saquon's comments, the contract stuff. We'll have time about that. We'll talk about that more. We have a whole offseason schedule coming up. So like I said, we'll be getting in the Senior Bowl in June. We want you back on for all this stuff too. Senior Bowl coverage, we'll get through free agency frenzy, rumors, draft stuff, trades, whatever we're gonna do. We got a lot. We're not going away for the offseason, so please stick with us and everything else. But yeah, like I said, my closing statements, at least as far as our team this season, nobody had this schedule for us, myself included. I had us as a 7-win team this year. That's what I said. I said new regime again, whole new GM, new coaching staff, all that. Like everything was new. I didn't see a playoff run. I didn't see a divisional round run, any of that. So I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of the way they fought. I'm proud of the way they never gave up. I'm proud of the way they're fighting them. Besides this game, but as a whole this season, I'm proud of what we did with what we had. And I think, like I said, I think this really showed what we need to do this offseason. We got draft capital. We got a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Let's lock up our core players. Let's continue to build through the draft. Let's supplement with free agency. Let's come back and let's be bigger and better. But hopefully we can see the Eagles again in the divisional. Benji, parting thoughts?
It was one hell of a ride. Had some ups, had some downs. Did a lot better than I thought we were going to do. Then you said that you initially thought 7 wins. Like I said, I sat up there and I said we were going to fall anywhere between 7-10 and 10-7. 9-7-1. I mean, that's what it is. Like I said, we basically maxed out what we could have done this year. And like I said, pessimism aside right now, aggravation aside, I'm damn proud of this team. Right? Going forward, I expect great things. That's it.
June?
Man, like I said, I went out to go watch the game, and I was sitting there at like before I have just like shock and like just. I love the Giants, man. Like, and to see, I expected a better performance on Saturday, and a guy came up to me like, "Man, we a year ahead of schedule, man. Like, ain't nothing to be down about. Ain't nothing to be down about, man. Like, we ain't supposed to be here, and stuff like that. When he told me that, I'm like, You got a point, man. Like, you got a point. We ain't really supposed to be made it this far. Like you say, Joe. I really had us down for like 7 wins. This was pretty much not a rebuild yet, but like to see what we got. What these coaches in this new regime could do with the time that we have. But like you said, man, it was fun. It was fun to talk, to have the win streaks, then talk playoff football. It was
Yeah.
It's been 6 yeyears since we
Yep.
talked.
Well, I'll say something
And
we haven't done in a long time.
a playoff win since what 2012 or 11. Like, it was fun. It was fun this year, man. It's bad. It's sad how it came to an end, but I'm looking forward to next year, man. I'm just looking forward to next year. This is their second year. I'm looking forward to what they do this off season, and let's go at it, man. Let's get it, man. Get these guys that that need to be on this team. Get them signed. Sign with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But once get this in, let's get it, man. Next year, man, and we're gonna expect more, basically, because we see what we could do with what we had with the players we had on the roster already.
Mhm.
Let's see if we could do more come next year with some talent on the team.
Yep. Well, that's pretty much it, man. Like you guys said, it's been fun, and like I said, it sucks the way we went out. Would have hoped for, even if we lost, would have hoped for a more competitive game, a hard fought physical game, and even if we just came up a little short, still would have hurt. But never want to see your team go out like the way we did
No.
Saturday. But like I said, it's not the end. We'll be back, hopefully reloaded and better to go next year. But and that's it for the season, man. That's it for the season podcast. No more Victory Mondays for a while. No more Victory Formation Mondays. That sucks. That sucks.
It sucks.
Corsair, we're going to go over that a little bit later. Like, this was just for the playoff game, where we're going to do like a season review and all that other stuff, looking towards the future, going, either later on in the week or once the season ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this was just like Benji said. We were just going over the game, and I guess like a little a season finale at this point. That's what I feel. But yeah, like I said, stick around for the off season. We'll be doing everything from free agent rumors to fantasy to the draft to combine to news and notes. Still try to do weekly shows and everything. So, with that being said, fellas, it's been a fun ride. Till next season, we'll see what happens with the rest of the playoffs. Of course, check us out, subscribe. I know you probably already subscribed to the channel. Check out for our live videos coming for I think Wednesday or Thursday. We'll check back to another Pick'em show. Yeah. At least we didn't go out like the Cowboys did. That was.
I would mimic playing center, but I'm a little too big for that.
That was amazing. That put me in such a better mood. Just
that play. It's always a crazy play they do at the end. Like,
just the fact that you lost in general made me happy, but the way you lost is just a muddle huddle, putting Zeke at center and watching him just get absolutely rolled by a linebacker. And then you have a receiver standing behind like 3 old linemen, and you decide to throw it to the one receiver who's standing by himself with no blockers. Just got absolutely lit up.
Lit up.
And you didn't even pitch it. You didn't try to pitch it or anything.
Yeah, he did. He tried to pitch it after he got tackled.
Oh, great. Dak just threw a floater to this guy, and Jimmy Ward took his whole soul. It was amazing. Oh, my gosh. Oh, well, let's put an end to this one. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Like I said, check us out off-season shows, everything. Wednesday, pop back in. Wednesday or Thursday, we'll talk to Paul. Check us out during the week. Hit that notification button if you haven't. Get all the notifications as far as it's going live and everything. Everything we're posting to the YouTube. Yeah, of course he got killed. He got cracked. He got killed. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the entire season, we enjoyed everybody that came to watch, all the views. We appreciate it. As always, like, comment, subscribe, support. Share the video, share the page. Still pushing for those hundreds of YouTube subscribers. And yeah, man. Till next time. Victory Information Mondays out.